The road to Scottish Summit starts here. This is the Power Platform Podcast. Join Rex de Koning, Ana Inés Urrutia de Sousa, and Paddy Byrne as they talk to the Microsoft community about their stories.
So welcome to the whatever episode we're going to call this one, version of the Power Platform People podcast, Road to Scottish Summit. We don't have Paddy, we don't have Anna, so you have been substituted in with me, and I am with
Rex de Koning. I'm one of the co-hosts. For the ones who have seen the previous podcasts, it's only going to be audio this time because of some technical difficulties, because we're on site now. So we're doing recording at another convention at Dynamic Minds this week. So that's why also Mark joined us. And we have two wonderful guests. We have Bibby and Areti Iles. And can you introduce yourselves?
I'll go first, ladies first. So hi everyone. My name is Areti Iles. No, that's right. It's everyone gets rolled. Don't worry about it. And I am currently head of sector for professional services at a Microsoft partner called Telefonica Tech. And also in the community, I run the Reading D365 and Power Platform user group.
Could we also just quickly throw in thank you to Telefonica Tech for sponsoring the event as well?
Of course, yeah.
Are they sponsored?
Yes.
Excellent. I thought you were just doing it.
No, they actually are sponsored. And I know Rex said technical difficulties, but we tell the truth, it's actually because Andrew's here. We didn't want to go on camera.
All right. If you say it like that, he's, yeah. I won't say that, but.
And me, sure, Bibby.
Sure. Hi, my name's Andrew Bibby. I'm one of the directors at Proximo 3. I am variously involved in community things like Dynamics Mind, speaking at conferences, and also I head up the UK Dynamics 365 and Power Platform user groups, which is a lot of fun.
How long have you been doing that for?
I actually don't know. I think about 8 or 9 years, something like that, from when I first got involved.
Jesus, that is
Quite a lot.
It is. Do you still enjoy it as much as you did at the start? Or has it taken a different
No, I do,
role?
actually. Well, I don't do the same sort of role. So initially when I joined, I was more kind of behind the scenes because I didn't want to get up and stand up and talk in front of people because I was a classic introvert. And then I started doing speaking at the events, and then I started getting involved in the organization. And then I sort of moved on to helping run the user groups around the UK. I think it's just different now. I still get a real buzz out of doing the day. We do a day event 3 times a year. That takes a lot of organization, but it's always a really good vibe and really fun day. Meet lots of nice people. So yeah, that's great. It is a lot of work.
Oh yes. I mean, you're talking to us that have been planning this event for 18 months. So.
Yeah.
And you run the Reading user groups. How long have they been on the go?
So we're fairly new to the scene. I think it's been a year and a half now that the Reading user group has been running.
Okay. And you just had an event a few weeks ago? Well, it's on Tuesday, but this isn't going to be ready for Tuesday.
We had
so yes,
an event.
You did. It was great, wasn't it? How did it go?
It was really, really good. Yeah, we had a couple of sessions
Good.
on enterprise security and Gen AI in Copilot Studio. Of course, we had to get AI in there. Yeah, it was very, very good. We always get a good attendance. Have some pizzas. We have a lovely venue. It's provided by one of our sponsors as well, the user group. So yeah, we're very lucky to have a lovely kind of setup now.
Awesome. Andrew, you actually just mentioned there that you were an introvert at the start. We're at Dynamics Minds at the moment. Myself, Rex and Areti have actually just finished a panel on how to become a speaker as an introvert.
Yeah.
Which was quite interesting. So we're actually a group of 4 introverts right now.
I think probably most of the people here are introverted in some way.
I don't know. There's a lot of loud people at these sort of events.
Yeah,
so.
some of them are definitely not.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
They kind of stand out, I guess.
And if you want to see the session that we did, join us at Scottish Summit this year.
Yes.
Oh,
Are you
fun.
doing it at Scottish?
Indeed, we are.
How do you know this? Rex, have you been looking in the system in the background?
I have not, but when this podcast comes out,
right, okay. Yes, you win, right, anyway. Okay, so we have some icebreakers, so do you want to ask
So are you doing the same talk you did at Dynamics Mind at Scottish Summit?
It's not
like a panel,
exactly the
sorry.
same talk. This was a panel session. And
Yeah.
Scottish Summit is going to be a normal session.
Okay.
At this time, perhaps we're going to change it to panel session.
Mhm.
I'll join your panel if you would have me.
There we go. It's now become a panel session.
There you go.
I just
Yeah.
have to find
You
some
can do
space
both.
for you.
Could do
We
both.
also got some other people who want to be on there already.
Okay.
So I talked to some other people. So, well, panel session it is. Then.
So, but yeah,
So-
so other
Yeah.
panels, the panels at Scottish Summit, we actually have proper rooms for them as well, with like chaise longues and nice couches and
awesome.
microphones and stuff like that. So it is actually like proper, but they're not standard 45-minute sessions. They're 90-minute panel sessions.
wow.
Oh, awesome.
So it's not a case of like everyone needs to get their 2 seconds worth of content in.
Mm.
It's actually a bit longer, which means on one hand, it's a great session because it's a bit longer, but for people who are choosing to go and view a panel session, it means that there's 2 sessions going on at those times. So it's give and take, but
Yeah.
I love a panel session. I actually find them more fun than doing normal sessions.
I wonder if you could try and record some of them.
Yeah, well,
Podcasts.
so not with me on one of them because I just swear. But it is an option. But I find with things like panel sessions, if they're recorded, people tend to be a bit less open and honest.
Okay.
If it's technical, then it's fine. But if people are opening up about
Mm.
like some of their mental health, there's how to get into speaking, stuff like that, some people may not open up. But it's definitely a shout. You've just volunteered to be a cameraman for the second day. Is that okay?
Sure. If I'm not doing anything else, that's fine.
All right, yeah, so we always have some icebreakers. So let's start with Areti in this case.
Mhm.
If you have to choose between public speaking or eating chocolates, I'm going to be very specific. What would you choose?
So this question came up today in the panel that we had, the session on public speaking, and we gave people the option to kind of ask questions anonymously, which I think is a great idea actually for all sessions.
Yeah.
And this question came up by someone. I thought it was very interesting question because obviously eating sweets, eating chocolate is very nice, and public speaking is also a great experience. It's a hard one. I struggled to answer this because it's which one of your kids do you love most? And we all have a favorite, let's be honest, but I think realistically, public speaking definitely is a lot more rewarding in the long term than eating chocolate. So I think it has to be public speaking. And it's also very good fun, even if you are an introvert.
Which one do you get the most endorphins from? Chocolate or speaking?
Yeah, probably public speaking, because I think it's always good when you can give back to people, and it's always good when you can learn from people.
Okay, I've got a follow-on question from that one.
Uh-huh.
If you could only have one type of chocolate for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Milk chocolate with whole nuts in it.
Right, what brand?
Green and black.
Green and black?
Fancy.
Is that expensive stuff?
Well,
It's not the most expensive you can get, but it's not
Dairy Milk.
It's not dairy milk, although
Yeah.
I love dairy milk whole nuts as well. But yeah, just basically any milk chocolate with almonds or whole nuts or that kind of thing is up my street.
Somebody actually brought me some vegan Lindt almond chocolate.
Nice.
Sometimes events are interesting because people just hand you gifts. So yeah, I had some of that and also some
Any good?
popcorn. Oh, yeah. It was nice. Yeah, okay.
Very
I'm sending that person back to get more. They actually live right next to the Lindt factory.
Oh, nice.
Oh,
So yeah, they are going to be sent back to that place because they're Jimmy Favors.
very nice.
So Andrew,
Mm.
here's your question. He's looking at me as if, just as well, this is an audio one and not a visual. Can you tell us the history of the red jacket?
So I wear this red jacket at the quiz that we do at some events, which we started at, I want to say, what's the event that happened in Dublin?
D365
Pre-COVID.
Saturday. Dublin.
D365 Saturday, yeah. So I did a session there, and it was just a session, but I did it as a quiz. And there was like 15 people, and I had some stupid prizes and stuff. And then it was really fun. It got lots of. I had Ben Vollmer in that, and he argued about every answer. And then I thought that I went to do it at Nordic Summit, but it was going to be like the after conference kind of entertainment, and I thought, okay, it's like, how can I kind of elevate this? I'm pretty sure I didn't have the jacket at the start in Dublin. I don't think I did. So that was the first place I wore it, and I kind of thought, how can I be like a cheesy game show host? And I bought this like £20 jacket off Amazon that was direct from China, and all frayed and everything. And then I wore that, and it kind of stuck. People liked it. So
if that jacket could tell us one story, what would it be?
I don't really wear it. I don't really wear it in any compromising situations. I remember at Scottish Summit in 2022 in Glasgow, that incremental office, was that 21?
Yeah, Telefonica Tech, push, sponsor, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Like, subscribe, hit the button. Yeah.
Smash that like button.
Yes.
I got changed in the toilets, and I have a picture of myself in my jacket and a kilt, which may come back in Aberdeen, I don't know. And that was kind of like, I felt like that was just before I went on, and I kind of felt like, okay, this is going to be great. And it kind of got me in character to do that.
So we need to put you in a kilt to get some character out of you.
I'll wear a kilt, yeah.
Can you get red sequin kilts? I think that's where this has to go, right?
I don't know.
Well,
More traditional, maybe.
So there's two options. So obviously at the event, you can come and join the pub quiz, and there's also the awards in that as well. But on the Friday night, we've got the drag queens.
Very excited.
So, Andrew, you said you liked wearing the kilt.
When we went to Hamburg, we went to Colour Cloud in Hamburg, and we went to a drag show on Friday night, and I thought that was the best thing ever.
That was so good.
Great makeup, like great singing and everything. And I'm kind of expecting the same thing.
Yes.
Crossed my mind. Do we do some kind
So I've got a text, and I'm going to read this one out. So Carl Cookson was very drunk last night. Like, when I say drunk, he would agree or do anything. So he was like, oh, the drag queens. I mean, I would do drag. And he was standing next to Nathan Sweeney. And Nathan's like, oh, I've done it before. Have a look at this picture. And then there was a picture of Nathan in drag. So
I can see that, actually.
So Cookie came back 2 minutes later and said, I would do this, by the way. So Will Dorrington by that time was standing next to him. I was like, yeah, I'll do it as well. And then about 3 minutes later, I got a text from Cookie because he had disappeared somewhere to say, oh, Andrew Welsh will do it. Chris Huntingford is doing it. So we might either have a drag show, like RuPaul-style Drag Race.
Oh, yeah.
Walk down the aisle just in drag.
Please, can I judge that?
You need a panel.
You need a panel judge.
I want to be on the panel.
Yeah. So I will speak to, like, we have 8 drag queens that are coming to the event, or drag queens and kings. They're doing things like fire breathing, stilt walking, comedy, dancing, gymnastics, singing. Like, they're all, each drag king or queen has their own unique thing that they do. So we could maybe do a drag race. Because did anyone get the sparkly badges from Scottish Summit last year in Manchester?
Oh, yeah, I did, yeah.
Right. So that badge is based on the RuPaul Drag Race blue or Ru Peter badge. That's actually where that one came from. I throw these little curveballs in that mean nothing to anyone. And then when I explain it to folk like 3 years later, they're like, oh, right, okay, this all now makes sense. Like the Danhausen gifts. Like, everyone's seen a Danhausen gift.
You're the only person that knows that.
Oh, I'm the only person that knows.
I do know who it is. But...
Yeah.
So this year I've been doing Danhausen and Letterkenny and Shoresy. Have you ever watched Letterkenny? Letterkenny's it's a Canadian, like, dry comedy. It's quite funny. And Shoresy was in that show and has his own show now. So you can tell on social media if it's somebody from, like, the marketing team that's replied to somebody's message, or if it's me, because it'll just be a wrestling or that gift. So, but there's work afoot to get some material from these people in Scottish Summit stuff. I already have Danhausen wearing a Scottish Summit scarf that he's actually worn and recorded video. Anyway, sorry, Rex. I am just...
Yeah, no worries.
Sorry, Mark.
Very interesting. And of course, we also have the Scottish Summit tartan, so we could do something with that if you want to kill.
We do, yes.
It can be arranged. It's going to be very, very good fun for sure.
We have some months of planning to do, so there might be space there.
Yeah. I have just ordered about 10 meters of tartan, so there will be material.
So, and it is recorded now, Andrew, so know what you can
I
expect.
don't want you to
Promises
spend a lot
have
of
been
money on a
made.
kilt that I'm going to wear once.
But anyway, we talked about a lot of things. But about yourself, you guys talked about what you do in the community, but what do you do in your daily life? You said it shortly, but give a bit more explanation if you want.
Do you mean in terms of our job roles or generally?
Job roles and generally and in the community.
So my role is more of a head of delivery role. So I look after all of our project managers and consultants within professional services and all of the project delivery itself. Very rewarding. Obviously, our structure has changed in the company as well, so there's lots of opportunities there, doing some cool things. In the community, it kind of complements it. So I tend to, obviously, I'm running the Reading User Group, and that more for me has to do with giving speakers the opportunity to come and speak, but also getting the local community together. We try to have experienced speakers, but also new speakers. We also try to have women speakers, because I'm a big advocate for women in tech, and that's one of the sessions I do as well, around women joining the industry, but also the issues with women leaving the industry. So we try to get women speakers as well. We don't get as many as I would like, but we keep trying. We'll come back to that maybe later. And yeah, I'm also a mental health advocate, although that doesn't come up in the community as such, I don't think, for me that much. And my latest thing is AI adoption. So looking at not as much the technical side of it, but more how our organization's going to be prepared and have the right governance and the right structures for adopting AI, building AI, and managing AI. But yeah, more on that at the Scottish Summit.
All right, we're looking forward to it.
So I've got some questions around women in tech, because I was at the user group in London and you'd done a session on women in tech.
I did.
What was that session about? Well, obviously women in tech, but what was the theme or the message from that?
So there's two real parts to it. One is that there's myths that stop women joining the industry, and I focus specifically on 9 of them. So things like that the tech industry is a male industry, not something for women to look at or consider as an option, that there is not a good family kind of work balance, that the culture is not really geared towards women, that it's all about codes, that if you don't code, that's not the industry for you. So some of these myths obviously apply to anyone, really, not just women, but they're not necessarily true. And I talk a little bit about that and why people should definitely consider joining the industry, and not let these weird things that people believe about it stop them from doing it, because they're not true. The second part to it is, obviously there's a lot around increasing diversity in the industry in general, women or other underrepresented groups. And the issue is that when we look at diversity in general, it's one thing to bring people in, like women, but also a lot of women are leaving the industry. And there's very a few reasons that they do that. Anything from, career progression isn't there. Salaries is one thing as well. We all are aware of gender pay gaps and so on. So it's about talking a little bit about that as well, and what we can do to stop women from leaving, because there's no point having really big initiatives to get more diversity in the industry if those same people that are coming in then leaving.
Yeah, or, as I said in that session, some of them aren't even getting to that point because the stupid things that they're told in school, like tech isn't for girls. Yeah. That was genuinely my daughter done my daughter done, how they do these, fill in these 25 questions and you're told what industry you're best suited for. So she filled it out and it basically came back that said that she would be great in tech. And the careers advisor said, oh, don't worry about that. Tech's for guys, you'll not do it. Fill in the form again.
And she was a woman as well.
Yeah, and it was a woman that done it. Yeah,
really?
Yeah, it was a woman that actually said that too.
I think my son's just gone through his GCSEs and he's done computing, like in air quotes, and that's seen as I don't think for the industry that we have now with business applications and it not being a particularly technical area for us, and there is a lot more women coming into our industry that I've seen in my career. But if your first exposure to that in school is computing, where you are learning Python and algorithms and things like that. I think that's not a sort of great start if you're not sort of computer minded. And through that, maybe that puts people off going into a whole raft of different roles that they could be, in IT, again, in sort of air quotes, because it's changed so much over the past 5-6 years, particularly since Power Platform came in. I think so many more women and so many more non-technical people involved in our projects.
Yeah,
I'll give you a laugh. I failed GCSE computing.
Yeah. I didn't do it. It wasn't an option.
Thank you for joining the podcast. It's like the karaoke from last night. We're going to press the big cross button and you disappear out the room.
I can go. I can leave.
But it's a good thing. Things are changing at the moment, and luckily you
that.
hear more and more people. I think it was Sarah Fenna who said it a couple of weeks ago, that even at most events, the lines for the loose are also starting to grow at the women's side. So that's definitely a good thing. So more women are luckily getting into the community in the work field. So things are changing. Could go faster perhaps, but at least there are changes being made.
Yeah, I wonder, and this goes across a number of different sort of diversity issues, is that as a middle-aged white man, I don't see a lot of the issues that obviously exist. I mean, I don't see gender pay gap, for example. I kind of assume that was a
Myth.
solved thing in this day and age.
Absolutely is not. It happened to me, I can tell you.
Really?
So, yeah. I can't exactly tell you how I found out, but let's just say someone sent out a spreadsheet that had compromising information once by mistake, right, to everybody. They meant to attach a different file, they attached the wrong file, and that file had a lot of information in it. And I realized that I was about 10K underpaid compared to someone that did exactly the same job as me, exactly the same project. And I was, as you can imagine, being a Greek person, very calm about this. It got resolved, it was fine, but it definitely is, and salary is a bit of a weird thing as well, because when I raised this with the powers that be at the time, this was many years ago, what I was told was, you will get the number you ask for when you walk in, not necessarily the number you deserve. And I think that is definitely the case with everybody, not just with women, because I don't think anyone particularly sets out to pay women less. I'd like to think that that's not the case. Right. It's just perhaps that we do not discuss particularly salaries, and we don't ask for salary increase. Yeah, exactly. So I think there is an element of women needing to research it a little bit more, perhaps ask their male colleagues as well to try and benchmark it, and where they feel they deserve more, get some facts around it and have that conversation. Yeah, a lot of people would rather quit the job, particularly younger generations. It's suggested that they would rather quit the job and go get their role elsewhere than have a difficult conversation about salary. So we need to encourage everybody to have those difficult conversations.
So the one thing that, obviously myself and Andrew are at Proximo, we have only hired females at the moment. And even when we've been interviewing people or putting out job adverts, there's been, this is what the salary is. We don't care, male, women, alien, purple-haired people, anything like that. That's what we do. But it's difficult because, I'm at the same, I know it's there because people have told me, but I've never directly seen it myself. And I don't know if it's just that we work differently, or I don't know.
I think that's part of it. Also with, actually it was at this conference last year, I was on a panel about diversity and inclusion and how diverse workplaces are more productive. That's research-backed fact. And I was on the panel and I was kind of like, I don't really know what I can add here because I don't have this background. I'm not from a diverse background. I'm not a woman. But it was a really interesting and eye-opening conversation, I think, and it's partly for people like me is how can we advocate for people that are from minority backgrounds or, like you just said, Mark, not have that view of, hiring people that look like you, sound like you, talk like you, because diversity is important in the workplace.
But at the same time, I think I was having this conversation yesterday actually with some people that quotas are bad. well, it's controversial as to whether, because there's been situations, and I'm sure I'm not alone in this, where people will have come up and said, oh, you're a woman, you should apply for this because we're looking to increase diversity.
Diversity hire, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, positive discrimination is still discrimination, basically is where I stand.
Yeah.
So no one really wants to be given anything because of their gender or otherwise, I don't know what the answer is to making the industry more diverse, but I'd like to think that is not the only way we can reach that.
So I think if nothing else, it is that sort of allyship and, to your point, is being vocal about that not being appropriate, that positive discrimination, obviously not negative discrimination as well. And over time, hopefully that moves the needle enough that like every time somebody says something, then opinions start to change. But we're obviously a long way away from being an equal society at the moment.
One of the good things we've done at Scottish Summit was the reviewing of the sessions. So we had an algorithm that stripped out gender from the session titles, so he's and she's and anything like that. So if you were to read the session title, there was no pronouns. You didn't know if it was a male or a female. So the sessions were actually picked based on the session rather than the name of the person or if they were male or female. So there are small little things you can do, but it's just a drop in the ocean to what we're trying to get to. But
it's still better than nothing.
Exactly,
right?
they do make a difference.
Yeah.
And if that way, if there's more female speakers at events, there becomes then more role models for others, then they can start to go in. That's the hope. But we have been hoping for that for a while, and we just keep at it every single year.
Yeah, that's all we can do, really.
I think if you look at events like this, there is a decent, I don't know what the statistic is, but there is a decent number of women. It's probably not as ethnically diverse as other areas of the globe, but maybe that's just more geography than anything else. But actually saying that, there's people from different ethnic backgrounds in this region here. Just that their colour of skin is the same. But there is a pretty decent number of women here, at least.
Yeah,
and I think that's what I see at a lot of events now, which is, if that was representative of our industry, maybe it's not quite, but it's pretty good. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's definitely getting better. I think what I'm worried about is it going to be sustained? Because that's the other part of it.
I'm interested in that. So one of my friends, a couple of years ago, left. She had maternity leave and obviously left her role, came back a year later and had been passed over for a promotion simply because she wasn't there. And I know that's not supposed to happen. There's supposed to be rules in place that organizations don't do that, but there is a kind of visibility aspect to it. And she was saying that generally there is a trend that women that obviously leave the workplace to go and have children, whether it's 6 months or a year or a couple of years, their long-term income is significantly less because they don't get that progression. They don't come back to, or they don't get offered roles that are higher up, obviously while they're off. And that has a long-term impact on their overall salary that they would earn until they retire, which is quite significant. It's tens of percent. I can't remember what the figure is.
It's a difficult one as well, because I think once you go on maternity, and when I was on maternity myself a few years back, it shouldn't really make a difference. If anything, becoming a parent probably teaches you some more extra skills. You definitely become a bit more definitely become a bit more patient.
Multitasking as well.
Multitasking, efficient. You have to be efficient because you've got a lot of things going on, so you've got no time to waste. But realistically, I think we need to consider the fact that given that women tend to potentially be the lower earners in a family, childcare costs are extremely high. So there is really that question around, can you earn enough as an employee to make it worth having your child in childcare? Because my daughter is going to start school in September, but her nursery fees have been £1,700 a month to have her full-time at nursery so I can work full-time. That's not necessarily feasible for a lot of people. We're very, really lucky to be in an industry where we are well paid, mostly. So I think it's,
I think that's actually quite a UK-centric problem.
I don't know that it is.
No.
So I was just, I had
Childcare
this,
costs.
That's
Yeah,
the same
yeah.
for Netherlands, so it's probably also in Europe.
so the only reason I say that is I was speaking to Malin about it the other day, and
I think Nordic countries have got a good
Nordic,
view.
Yeah,
Nordic
Nord-
countries are very good at
yeah,
it.
Nordic countries, like, she was like, why would you not put them into childcare? And they're like wraparound care and everything, and it's
I think it's usually also free in the Nordic, or
it's
Sweden
not
or
free.
Finland,
Yeah,
but
there's
a
it's
lot
not
of-
free,
lot
but
cheaper.
it's like pennies.
Yeah.
It's nothing, and that's to encourage people to go back to work.
Mm.
So, Andrew, do you want to tell us a bit about your passions, your work, what you do outside of it?
What do I do for work? Well, because we're a small business, we kind of do everything, right?
Oh yeah, this is the elevator pitch actually.
We
Let's see.
do. I think recently I've been doing a lot of sales. Obviously, we work with Dynamics CRM on the CRM side and Power Platform, and so we do everything from initial kind of scoping and pilots and proof of concept, all the way through to implementation and training and things like that. Not that that's a pitch. It's just that what I do day to day and what Mark does is different every day, pretty much. We're either we're working on pre-sales or pulling contracts together, or looking at finance, or looking at our marketing efforts, or implementing solutions, or solution architecture, or training, or it is super varied. And that's one of the things I like about working in our company. It's been a massive challenge, even though I've been independent, effectively like an independent consultant for 20 years. I've done things in the last 3 years in terms of running a business and knowing how to run a business that I never considered previously, because it's a different kettle of fish. Trying to build a partner, build a company, versus just looking for the next job kind of thing.
And you also have employees now that you have to think of course.
Yeah.
It's not just your own income.
Yeah,
It's also their income that you're working for, basically.
for sure, and that's how we need to spend much more time looking at finances and making sure that we are, pricing projects properly and keeping on top of the time we spend, and because we have a lot of ongoing commitments, not just wages, but benefits and everything else that it takes to run our company.
It has been quite interesting. Like, we probably know now how much it costs per minute to run the company, but we have to get to that level. So like, you've got your software services and stuff. So it's definitely been eye-opening. Like, I don't think we were naive at the start. We just probably didn't know what we needed to know.
Yeah.
I mean, that's probably the definition of naive, though, actually.
Well, what I've learned in the last 3 years, like I said, that I never really had to know before in terms of how you build a business. And I think that's, again, it sounds naive, but you sort of have this idea, like I'd had this idea of starting a Microsoft partner for a decade. And I think a lot of consultants do, and a lot of independents do. And I didn't really think about the running a business aspect of it. I thought about delivering projects and winning projects, and rather than actually, you need to have a strategy and a plan and do marketing and do sales and do pre-sales, and it all costs money. It all costs a lot more money than you expect.
And it's very time consuming.
Very time consuming, absolutely.
And then they're sitting in partner center as well.
Yeah, trying to work out what's in partner center, that's another job.
And just trying to open a partner center and going through the pages, it will also take you a long time.
Yeah.
That's a different story.
And sort of what accreditations you need and what certificates you need to be able to get cash back from Microsoft, or what contracts you've got with third-party suppliers where you get kickbacks from them and it's like, I didn't know this happened, this sort of thing, and it's
Kickback sounds a little bit illegal. I think you mean like a percentage of.
No, the brown envelopes that they keep sending to the house. Incentives and royalties.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's been a massive eye opener. I think we've been super busy since the start of this year, but also like in the past few weeks, I think it's been so crazy, and that's just another thing to juggle. It's like my me being billable is a tiny percentage currently of my working week, and I've been spending it on pre-sales proposals and talking to potential customers, and that's the balance between actually earning money for the company and
but you also have to look at it in the long run. So all the things you are doing now may not make any money at this moment.
Yeah.
But hopefully there will be in the next coming months, in the next year, whatever
That's
the
the
plan
hope,
is.
It's
But
definitely,
interesting.
definitely an interesting thing. It's running about daft with 100 different hats on. So when you watch, have you ever seen like the old cartoons when they're in the circus tent and they just keeps putting the fireman's hat on, the policeman's hat on, like till he's got 100 hats on his head? That's sometimes what it feels like.
I feel like it's spinning plates as well. You're trying to keep everything.
So we could wear the hats and do the plates. And
Wear
that's
the hats
just
and the
before
plates.
that's just before 10 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So outside of work though, so you've also got community stuff, you've got work. What do you do to chill? What's your relaxation?
At the moment, probably sleep. I spend time with my kids, and all my kids are 16 and 18 now, so they spend less time with me, so I have more free time, I suppose. I end up doing a lot of community things, I think, in my free time. Otherwise, I'm sure I can think of something that I do that I'm interested in. Just escapes me right now.
Well, a gig recently, a concert.
No.
So not music then, okay?
No, I don't go to gigs and things like that particularly. No.
Is that just because you're old?
Yeah.
And can't hear it? Okay.
All right, let's get back to a bit more Scottish Summit. You both been to Scottish Summit before. You both had sessions there. Do you have some interesting stories, things that you did there that you noticed that happened to you or to others?
I have a very happy memory of Scottish Summit where I was. It was when he was at Strathclyde Uni, and there were bagpipes welcoming attendees as they were coming in. I thought it was very nice and unexpected. I do love bagpipes. So yeah, I thought that was very, very nice. It's generally a really nice vibe. I think in all community events, but Scottish Summit particularly, I think it's really it's got a nice brand around it, so to speak, for lack of a better word. Maybe brand's not the right word, but it's definitely one of the events where there's always a lot going on and there's a lot of fun to be had. And I think this year's one is going to be really, really good. So lots of things happening, very full days, lots of great sessions. And this is the thing about community events. There's a lot of people wanting to participate in them. So yeah, I did definitely love the fact that there was a lot of speakers, particularly, not just the same names, but also just the fact that there's an emphasis on new people coming in. And the fact that anyone can submit the session and they will be, just blindly, just gives everyone the opportunity to submit their sessions and go from there. So I think that's all really, really good stuff.
Yeah, trying to get away from having the same set of speakers that have toured and done the same sessions for the last 10 years doing exactly the same thing is quite a challenge. But I think when people are reviewing the sessions now, they're like, so one of the things that we actually rebuilt, I don't know if you've talked about this on any of the podcasts yet, but we've actually rebuilt the equivalent of a session eyes where we can review sessions. So some of the questions when you review them is, have you seen the session before? Would you attend the session? If you've attended it before, what was your feedback on it at that point? How's the description? So it's more around the sessions rather than, oh, I like their face, I know them, I know that they're an okay speaker. It's like, there's lots of different things, and nobody knows the algorithm apart from me. And I don't even think I know the thing. But yeah, there's metrics behind it, so there is actually a science behind it as well. So
I think I tend to get out of these events. The main thing is seeing people, meeting people. I do try a lot harder now to actually attend sessions, because I've definitely been to events where I've either been preparing for my own sessions and missed a lot, or I've just, been
hungover is the word you're looking for.
Hungover slightly, and missed sessions. But like this time, I've taken away things that I've learned that's useful for our projects we've got coming up.
Good.
Which is obviously a big benefit as well. But I love meeting new people and seeing people that I've already met. Huge number of friends that I've met through this community. which I think is quite unusual now for somebody. Like you hear a lot about people kind of as they get older, their friendship circle sort of disappears, and I think that's a bit of a problem. But it's been the opposite for me. The opposite sort of benefit is that you meet so many people and make new friends every time you go somewhere, and it's the same with Scottish Summit. I think my Scottish Summits are always fairly occupied with the quiz, preparing for that, and same with South Coast Summit as well, and that's normally running a bit late.
So this time round, we're going to have all the questions early so that you can relax and enjoy the event.
And get rid of the controversial ones where everyone's like, no, that can't be the answer.
Why would
We
we
all
do
know
that?
who's going to win anyway.
And there
Why
was
would
one
we do
default
that?
question that they have to change now. That was for the location of the Microsoft headquarters, Caribbean, I think.
Oh, yeah.
They moved
Latin
now,
America,
so-
is it? Yeah. Oh, have they?
It's not.
It's in Miami. It's in Fort Lauderdale.
No, it changed.
Oh,
I
really?
think.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think
Controversial.
so yeah.
Quizmaster's answer is final, so it doesn't matter if it's
Yeah,
moved.
exactly.
If Andrew says it's not moved, it's
All
not
I'm
moved.
gonna say is, in the last quiz, there was a box of gold coins that was provided to the quiz master. So I'm saying nothing.
Did you win
It was
last
in
time?
full view. No,
I dispute that.
what? It happened. AJ gave it to you. That was
AJ
there.
didn't win.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that the bribery worked. I'm just saying there was bribery.
I mean, to be fair, you
No, but
you
it's
could have
very
given
it's very good.
AJ the right answers and he probably would have not remembered or forgotten.
Oh yes, that's true.
It is a fair system, and it is a lot of good fun. If anyone has not been to the quiz, you definitely should consider doing it. Obviously, my team is not going to win, but we have the most fun when we're there. So you're either in the winning team or in the fun team. So
Well, the winning team have been pretty fun. as
yeah,
well.
true, they have been.
Controversial questions
Mhm.
absolutely are staying because that's what we need. We need that, disagreement.
Very true.
And the winning team last 3 years running, I want to say.
Yes.
Co-pilot and chill.
Yeah.
so
And you've just got to be better. There is no favoritism between any team. I think you've just got to up your game. Everybody who's running a team or in a team this year.
Or just give them free drinks all night and hope that their skills deteriorate as time goes on.
You can try that.
That was also tried last year.
Exactly,
It didn't
yeah.
work, but it was tried.
They've tried it with me, getting shots on stage and things like that from people in various teams, which is always makes it a bit more spicy towards the end of the quiz. But
It's a good way to spend the night. For
So
sure.
it's going to be slightly different as well. So we're giving you a break in between some of the rounds by giving out community awards. So maybe you just slam a drink every proper break, and that might work.
yeah, the community awards should be fun. Is that this? Obviously, Aaron
Aaron's going to be
Randell
running that. Yeah.
is running it, and he did the awards last year or at least he helped organise the awards last year at South Coast Summit.
Yes.
So it's the same kind of format this year. Is that
Yes,
right?
I believe so.
Actually had a call with Aaron the other week.
Okay.
And I'm none the wiser about what's
Right.
happening, so I don't think he knows. But other than
Okay.
that, but there will be community awards, which will be
Well,
fun.
it's a couple of months away, so he has time to
Yeah,
get it all
that
together.
seems to be how he's thinking about it as
Yeah.
well. When we need some information on how to plan the quiz.
So yeah, it'll be different. So £75, you can get your cabaret tickets, you can get your pub quiz tickets, and your ticket for the event.
Yeah, we got some great package deals. So
Yep.
and there are different tastes. So if you don't want a cabaret or you don't want a pub quiz, there are also packages
Yeah,
without
you can
those.
go separately. Yep.
Mhm.
The workshops, we got tickets for that. So that still places available, I think.
Yeah, I was actually looking the other day. We have sold more than half of the tickets for the cabaret and the pub quiz, so we're up at about 90 people at the moment for both.
Cool.
So it's definitely going to be
Mm.
fun. Fireworks, like there is actually going to be fireworks there as well.
Very nice.
Yes.
All right, yeah, let's do the last two questions together. They're complementary, so also because of the time.
Okay.
So basically, we ask your involvement in the current Scottish Summit and what are you looking forward most this year?
Do you want to go first this time?
Yeah, you go.
So
Give me time to think.
there is a lot this year. I think it's going to be fun packed. I'm looking forward to seeing a lot of people because I don't do that many community events in the year, so it's always very nice for me to come and see everybody. Looking forward to obviously to the Franca Tech being there and sponsoring and having a booth, so that should be fun. I'm looking forward to the sessions, to be honest, because the there is a lot of technology around right now moving at speed. And I think events like this make it even more important to actually spend the time, get up to speed with what's going on, talk to people that know what they're talking about, get the right understanding on that. So I think that's going to be really, really good, particularly if you're not in the day-to-day looking at the platform in general. So that's going to be very good. Obviously, kilts. Who doesn't want to see people in kilts? And drag queens and quizzes and awards. Yeah, I think it's going to be really good. Lots to look forward to. I'm volunteering as well, so I have no doubt it will be busy 3 days.
Have you decided what her tasks are yet?
No, we didn't give out any tasks yet. We're going to start with that in a couple of months.
Okay.
Now we're heading to the bit slower season for the event, so we have some time again.
I don't think any of it's
Slower.
Okay.
I have a break in events from half of June
Yeah.
to October.
So the organisation of this isn't slowing down.
The organization isn't slowing down, but the
Everything
events,
else is till I spend time on.
Yeah, so we get more time to do the organization
Yes,
stuff.
okay. We'll take it that way.
But no, we haven't given out roles yet. So yeah, after this, we will probably go through the list again, see what, and then send out a list of things that need to be done to the people and see what their preferences are.
It's cool. I've done a podcast and got a status update on a task. That's quite good. I'm multitasking now. And Andrew?
Very proud of you.
Yeah, are you doing a session on Copilot?
No, because there's no
AI
co-pilot.
adoption. So
AI
I've got
adoption.
there's 3 sessions. There is the one that we're doing on public speaking. There is one on women in tech, which is also probably going to be a panel. And there's the adopting AI one.
Awesome.
You've got 3 sessions.
Look forward to that.
Not
I'll
for
go
long,
to,
you don't.
Why? They're all really good.
I'm
You've said
starting
yes.
arguments.
I've got the email now. I can't
I'm
go
just
back.
interested to go along because I think
Please do.
that's important. That kind of strategy is important for a lot of organizations, and I think that I need to learn some more so that we can advise our customers.
Strategy for AI is more important than the actual tech, because the tech just works. It's the strategy and how you. Well, depends when this goes out because they've
Always.
probably broke it again.
Broke yesterday in my demo.
Sure.
But yes, so I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing you because you don't do so many community events. So that'd be great. And I'm presenting as well, which would be fun. I'm doing a new topic, so I have to actually write that. I won't say what it is because I'm not sure if we've done the agenda yet. No.
I'm just checking to make sure you have been accepted.
And whilst we might make the quiz look amateurish and like it's a piece, it's very easy to put on. We do actually put a lot of effort into the questions and planning and all that kind of good stuff. So we're starting that now, and it does take a couple of months, even though we may still be writing questions on the day. Everything else will be organised. So I look forward to doing the quiz because it is lots of fun. I get to hang out with Tricia, Sinclair, and Keegan, who are such lovely people, and spending time with them is the best. So,
They're absolutely fabulous.
yeah, and they get to be my partners in crime and doing this ridiculous thing. So yeah, very much looking forward to that, and seeing Aberdeen. I've never been there, so
It's full of sheep
sheep,
Yeah.
sheep and oil rig workers.
and Wellington boots.
That's no way to talk about the Scottish Summit congregation.
That Aberdeen is full of sheep.
Fair enough.
So yeah, that'd be fun. I'm looking forward to the whole thing. It's 3 days, right?
Yeah.
It's 2 event days, one
workshop
3-day
day.
with the workshops,
Yeah.
and there might be, I'm not sure if
I don't
That's
think
open.
there
The stems,
may be other things
Yeah.
in and around it at the moment, but we need to confirm all of that. The thing I'm most looking forward to, and it's a weird one, my daughter lives up in Aberdeen, so she's actually going to come and help do the registration desk and
Oh,
stuff.
nice.
No, that's
So for
awesome.
me, that's cool.
Get to see what you do.
Not really what I do, just get to see the event. So yeah, that for me is quite a.
We'll bring her
Yeah.
back into the IT industry somehow.
She's doing law, so there's more money in that, so we'll just leave her there.
IT law.
Well,
IT
she's
is-
contract law actually.
Exactly. There you go.
So
could be.
yes, exactly.
What we spend on contracts, yeah, absolutely. Let's
That's
get
where
her
the
in.
money is.
All right, well, that were basically our questions. So I don't know if you have anything else to share.
No, I have a question for you guys as Scottish Summit organizers. it's only fair. We've been interrogated. What would you love to have at an event like the Scottish Summit that you can't have because of health and safety regulations or otherwise?
T-shirt gun.
I've got a t-shirt gun, that's okay, we're allowed that.
Yeah, t-shirt guns
For
are
Mark,
right.
it's
Yeah.
probably indoor fireworks.
I'm allowed indoor fireworks, I've got that signed off.
Cool.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
I have
okay.
indoor fireworks, and the venue are supplying cold, so you know the cold spark fireworks?
Mm.
They're like little square boxes where you put powder in it and it goes, it's only allowed to go up to 4 meters in height, and it's only one color on each one, but yes, we have cold spark fireworks. I think for me, outdoor fireworks, I just like fireworks.
Firework show. Fair enough.
But because we are so close to the airport, so it's a 18-minute walk or 4 minutes in the bus from the airport, we are not allowed fireworks. We're also not allowed to eat outside. So, so for the listeners at home who can't see Andrew's facial expression, he was like, "What the actual?" If you eat outside, the pigeons come, and what happens is the pigeons fly and the airplanes fly, and you can have pigeon stew. So you're not allowed to eat outside. That was just one of the random things. We could have drones flying outside if we wanted to.
But
Like
no pigeons.
we could make the Scottish Summit logo in
Drone
drones,
show, yeah, that'd be awesome.
but we're not allowed to eat outside.
Okay. Noted.
So yeah,
Yeah.
outdoor fireworks for me would be the one.
For me, I really have no idea what I would like. That's not there or not possible at this time.
And don't give me ideas.
Have you?
That's the other thing, but
Have you seen anything at other events like Colour Cloud and Dynamics Minds that you thought, that's a good idea, we're going to do that? Because I feel like overall events get better and better and better because
Yeah,
they
definitely.
kind of share
So,
ideas.
well, looking at the Dynamic Minds here, the thing they have with where's the thing? Well, you don't have a camera, but they have something called networking co-pilots here, and that's basically people that just visitors or speakers at the event. And if people have questions or are just standing alone in the corner, those guys can go up to them and have a small talk, or if they have questions, send them to somebody that can help them or help them if they can, or show them where a specific room is or something. So basically normal volunteer work, but yeah, under a different label and a bit more personal.
And more visible.
And more
So
visible,
people
yeah.
can see.
So
who they
I
can
really
reach.
like that idea.
Yeah.
I mean, we did go down that route with the pink t-shirts a couple of years ago.
Oh, yeah.
We actually made people wear pink t-shirts. We do have wristbands as well.
Mm.
So I still have about 4,000 wristbands, and I'm thinking of ways to repurpose them. So that could be something that we could use. Now, this is a weird one. And I know it's not, is it event related? Is it not event related? I don't know. But having on-site nail tech teams for doing nails or
AJ.
yeah,
did it.
he done yours and yours were horrendous. But last year
Well,
here, they actually had a
he did
masseur.
more and they look really good.
Better than mine.
Yeah.
I mean, me too.
I've not done mine for a while, so they're looking bad. But last year here as well, they actually had a masseur,
Yeah.
and you could use your magical tokens to
Oh, yeah.
get a massage. So that's good, because that's just, it's a stress thing. It's just like chill, relax. With that being said, if you want to sponsor the event, we can do anything you want.
Not me personally.
I mean, well, sponsored or powered by Proximo. There we go.
Yeah.
Is that you signing off budget?
It depends what you're going to spend it on.
Fireworks.
Not more swag in the lockup.
I know. I genuinely have not spent money on swag this year. I actually think people will be disappointed in the level of swag.
I don't think swag's a bit sort of controversial, isn't it? Because we all get stuff at events
I never took my bag
for
here.
here.
Yeah.
And you end up not using it. I do use those bags. They're quite sort of
Yeah.
useful for shopping or whatever. But when I've got 16 different notebooks and 100 different pens and stuff, and
that gets a
you
bit
don't
out of
want
hand,
stuff
but
that just goes into landfill at the end of the day.
the bags are great, and mainly because of the long, what do you call them,
Handle.
the handle, because my girlfriend is in a wheelchair, and if the handles are longer, so it's easier for her to take them on the wheelchair. So
Oh yeah.
we love those bags at the events.
I do have some hoodies. So we've got some hoodies. We've got t-shirts. I did get some cool t-shirts made up recently that might go into production. Have you seen them yet? No.
I've seen one. Is that the one that you mean, or?
Yeah, it might be. It's just a T-shirt with a Scottish Summit tartan that says "Bobag" on it. Now that may go into
Definitely
production.
do that.
I think we should either sell them, put them as pub quiz prizes, or do something. But I genuinely think that could fund like the next 5 years worth of events, just selling Bobag T-shirts. With that being said, Rex, is that us then?
You could have ball bags.
Yeah.
With a couple of coconuts in it or something. With that being said, I think it's time to stop for today.
Thank you, guys. It's
We've been
been
going on
emotional.
for an hour, so I want to thank you very much for being on here and all the joy and fun we had.
Yes, thank you for having me. Yeah, it's been fun. Looking forward to Scottish Summit.
Woohoo!
Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.